Commence standing by in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the League of Drinks podcast. I'm your host, Spencer. Today with me, I've got Demiaskis, Zarafix, and Riley Red. We're going to be going over groups A and B, having a little banter, and unfortunately, we have to deal with drama because drama was such a big issue this week. Coming out of groups A and B, we've got some big teams happening. Hopefully, we can get into this. Sean, why don't you start us off?
Hey guys, I'm Demiaskis, also known as Sean. And for Group A, it's pretty decisive, honestly. And everyone expected it to be, just a flyby for Samsung Galaxy White and also Edward Gaming. They proceeded to stomp every other team in this group. And I have no doubt that they'll be coming out of the group stages into the quarterfinal brackets. And as for Group B, I was honestly a little surprised. I thought Taipei Assassins would do a little bit better than what I had predicted. But I also did predict that Team Solomid was going to come out on top anyway, as well as Starhorn Royal Club. So I'm not too surprised, a little surprised, but not too surprised. And they're going to be coming through for the quarterfinals as well.
Kevin, how are you feeling about Group A? Any upsets in there for you?
No, to be honest, not at all. Samsung White destroyed groups. It was ridiculous. Watching a bunch of the games, especially that AHQ game, where they were literally just running around, killing them, and having the best, the fun time. It didn't even seem like it was a proper game. Holy.
Yeah,
really
especially with especially with Westor, right?
Oh yeah.
I honestly
really.
thought he would do a lot better than what he did. In these matches.
Yeah, it just seems like AHQ just kind of they just didn't know what the hell they were doing there, and they just completely forgot how to play the game, and they just kept ridiculously dying there over and over and over again. And then Samsung White decided, we'll put you to bed now. Let's end this.
So Riley, our Asian, or not Asian correspondent, our Korean correspondent, how you feeling about Samsung just face rolling Group A?
So far, from what I've seen, they've just been dominating. So, being Samsung Galaxy being the only team to play this week that's Korean, has just totally taken the entire tournament by storm so far. No real challenge I've really seen for them, going 5-0 so far. I believe it's just due to their huge amounts of lane presence and their solid CS ability. They've just been outranking everybody. I mean, Imp's just been destroying in farm.
First penta of the world, it's a sign.
Oh, might have been given to him.
He was given to him. But, it was the first penta.
Yeah.
I think even though they went 5-0, we still have not seen... We still are underappreciating just how good Samsung White is, because their team comp, just in general, is impressive all across the board. You got Pawn, who's beaten Faker, and a bunch of other Korean mid laners. And then Looper, I don't really talk about top laners much, but Looper has stood out to me as a really fantastic top laner, and he's been doing so well that he can just get as much praise for his top lane as any of the other players on his team.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Looper, just last game here, he went out CS'd his laning partner by 60 CS, and also went 7-2 and 22 assists. He's just he just dominates in those team fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was really disappointed in Group A. I wanted to see Dark Passage at least get a game.
Nope.
They're my dark horse. I was really hoping to see something out of the Turkish team.
Come back next year.
I know. Holy Phoenix, he was doing such a good job on AD carry. The rest of the team was just it was just too hard for one man to carry the entire team. Fabulous did a great job as well, but I wanted to see so much more out of this team. Hopefully next year we can see something. And who knows? Group D, we still got Kaboom. Who's in it for Kaboom? Come on, it's Kaboom.
No faith here. Sorry.
No, with the last game, especially with Dark Passage, it just seems that they didn't have any communication at all when they were, going into maybe to try to defend a bot tower where they were wasting teleports and the Pantheon ultimate. That was just a real waste, in my opinion, and it doesn't show that they were clearly ready for fights.
Yeah, I'm a strong believer that teams are only as good as the regions they came out of. They improve based on the teams that they fight. That's why Korean's doing so well, because all these three teams, they had to beat SKT1 to get here.
Absolutely.
they had to beat them to get there, so they had to improve, they had to do better, and they had to synergize well as a team, and that's why coming out of the group stages they're going to dominate because no other region can compare with them, except maybe China. But we've already seen that the highest seed, Edward Gaming, is already losing to Samsung White.
Yep,
But we do
definitely.
in Group B, we do have Starhorn Royal Club coming out of Group B. They're number 1 ranked out of there, so maybe they can put up a fight. What do you think, Sean?
I think they found their tempo, because I was honestly a little worried about Starhorn because of the drama that happened with Uzi and Insec. I thought that would show through their play, and it kind of did. In their first match against Taipei Assassins, Uzi was a little lost and he didn't play as well. And also Korn actually got caught out really early in the Taipei Assassins game, and they took a long time to get back, but they eventually found their tempo, and they found the way that they wanted to win the game, and they just did it for the rest of the group matches. After that first match, they completely dominated in every other match, I feel.
Yeah, they did a great job. Kevin, NA Team Solo Mid coming out of Group B, seeded 2. Hopefully they can do some fun in the quarters. What are you feeling about TSM this year?
So with TSM, they completely destroyed SK both games, hands down for completely. Like their team synergy within both games was really, really strong, and it shows that they're really getting closer to working together, so they can move on and perhaps make it even into the later in the semifinals and so on and whatnot. And
Really, you think they're gonna get to the semis?
Yeah, actually. I really think so.
Kevin's putting it out there. We're going TSM semis.
I don't know.
Also,
I think you're
with,
putting a little too much faith in them.
Their one loss to Starhorn. I really didn't think that their communication was well. Like they had a bunch of different things going on all at once, and they really seemed focused in the game. So I think if they can just step back and watch their game and look at their mistakes, and they can minimize on that and maybe push forward to, like I said, getting into semis and maybe even further.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. You heard it here first, guys. We're going TSM into semis, probably finals.
Ooh.
I do agree with Kevin there,
2014.
I do agree with Kevin there that if they can fix their communication with each other, they actually stand a chance.
All right. So then we have to talk about the upset out of EU. SK Gaming kind of just shat the bed. There was a bit of drama there to begin with Svets Garen kind of pissing off some people on the Taiwan servers with some really, really bad name changing there. I believe it was Taiwan Ching Chong. You can't be doing that, especially when you're an LCS player and you've signed a contract that says you won't be doing that. You can't do that. So he got a 3-game ban. They had to bring in a sub. Sean, do you know where that sub came from?
I don't actually.
God, who was that?
All I know is that he got shit on in his matches.
Yeah, we'll have to do some fact checking here in a second, and we'll have to look into that one. But they just got destroyed in those 3 games. They lost again today with Svets Garen back, and they couldn't bring it back to even try to make a play to get Geiger groups. Hopefully we can see some more stuff. Kevin, since you're our NA guy, what the hell happened between Loco and Monty this week?
Oh, I was just about to
Alright,
add on
I'm leaving.
to the SK
I can't
thing.
handle this drama. I'll be back in a few
I
minutes.
was just about to jump in on that SK Gaming thing because I just did a little bit of research here. He was also fined $2,500 for doing all that banter when what he was doing and everything. So there goes pretty much like any money he paid to get into to get here. Anyways, I'm not 100% sure what was going on with the Monty and Loco Doco thing. I actually haven't really looked into it, so I don't really know, to be honest.
I think it was more Loco being salty about what happened with Monty and Summoner's Insight, I think, is the show that he does.
Yeah. That was Monty's old show.
I heard that he must have said something to piss Loco off, but apparently the whole team's pissed about it. I'm not too sure about that. All I know is that Loco Doco's pissed, and also, what's his name? Dyrus' dad actually is
Yeah,
pissed about it.
Dadris got in on
He
it,
just
right.
came out of nowhere from top lane.
Yeah, that was interesting to see Dadris getting in on that. It was a
Yeah.
little odd.
That beard and all, Spencer.
Yeah, the beard and all. There were some really odd, dirty tweets going back and forth. TSM having to throw out apologies left and right to try to cover their ass. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something out of Riot on this. I know it's been reported to them. There was a thread on Reddit about that the other day.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see something come out of it. I don't know.
Honestly, Logo's been really immature about it. Even the apology he was immature about, because when he tweeted it, the official apology that he had to give, it was just, I don't know, the tone of it just sounded really bad. He just sent the link to the apology and just in 2 words just said read it. Like,
Yeah.
you can't say that. Like, you gotta keep the mood up, you know?
Yeah, he's just not feeling it. And Loco as a coach is going to be great for the team because he can be there. I can see why he's going to be better than Monty as the coach for CLG. Because CLG needs a team that's live in, is ready to do it, can be there 100% for them. Monty wasn't able to.
Mm-hmm.
Loco is going to be there all the time, watching their every move. I feel the TSM actually might be able to do some decent stuff next year. Loco came in a little late this year to really push them. Hopefully their boot camping in Korea has helped, but Loco needs to cool his heels. That's what really needs to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just back checking the SK game here. Who the hell did they have play? Gilius. Now,
Yeah.
Gilius is from, because, the world of Leaguepedia is such a great thing. He was from Unicorns of Love, the team that just actually was in the LCS relegation tournament.
And who passed on is now going to be in the EU LCS actually.
Yes, they did. So maybe we'll get some interesting stuff out of him this year. He tried. He really did.
Yeah.
Just was not ready for the Korean scene and the
That and on
Asian
top
scene.
of that. That and on top of that, he really didn't have any synergy with the team, so I'm guessing they just kind of pulled him in at last minute and they hoped that it was going to do well. But I mean, you're pulling in a sub with like little to no synergy, and you got to rely on him to help out all the lanes when they're doing bad. I mean, like, it's not going to go well, especially
To be
against,
fair,
like,
though,
these
jungle
teams.
is the hardest role to synergize with the rest of the team. Like, we've seen before that High was replaced by Link
Yep.
Yeah.
in past tournaments, and he did fine because all he had to do was just hold his lane, hold his own, and then just move with the rest of the team when they decided to. I think jungle is more of a requires more of team synergy, and you can't just get that by putting him on the team. So I don't think we should give him too much flack for it because it is one of the toughest roles to replace, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree with that. It's but it's like you said, you can't just throw somebody in and expect them to do worlds. You got there's teams that they've got to start having players that are on their sub bench ready to jump in at a moment's notice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
SK has those players, but for some reason they didn't throw them in. Just looking at their roster here, they've got Ginsu and Grifflix. They could have both jumped in. They're listed as subs on their roster. Why they didn't, I don't know. Not SK Gaming. I have no idea what happened with that.
I guess they felt that their own subs couldn't play up to the world standards.
How does that make you feel? Hey, you're a
Pretty
sub on our
shitty.
team, but you can't do it.
I mean, it's not like they jungle with these subs like all the time, so I
Yeah.
don't know if they exactly would have done much better than
Yeah.
what's his name, Gilius?
Gilius, yeah.
Yeah, Gilius. I don't think they would have done as good as Gilius did, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's up
well,
for debate.
Exactly. It could go either way on that. I would have liked to have seen, something out of SK. Maybe they'll win a game tomorrow. Possibly.
Who knows?
Question mark?
Even
they
with
got-
Svenskeren, they haven't done well individually either. Especially
No.
their mid laner. The mid laner has been really underperforming lately.
Yeah, it's been rough for them, and I'm sorry to see an EU team get just base rolled that easily. But we do have other teams to look forward to. Starting next week, we do have C and D groups coming in here. We've got Fnatic and Alliance out of the EU, seeded 1-1 for each group. So hopefully we can see some interesting things out of them. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
They are up against some pretty gnarly teams. You know, you got Fnatic's up against Samsung Blue and OMG and LMQ. You know, you got China 2.0, China, and Korea. It could be a very interesting group stage. D, you've got Alliance, Cloud9, Kaboom, and Najee and White Shield. Again, you've got Korea and Cloud9, which is where my money is for D, hopefully.
I think you're giving a little too much credit to Cloud9. They are good as a team, but individually they just don't shine. And you need to shine individually if you're going to go against the Korean team, if you're going to go against Alliance.
Actually, I think it's the complete opposite. With a team like such as Cloud9, and when they joined, they have not changed their roster once. Like, the reason why they had to was because of High's incident, and they still played really well. If you have one person, or like, say, two people on the team that really shine, then that just means that, hey, we're going to focus these people, so then it means the rest of your team's going to do bad. With Cloud9 as a team, for an example, their players do really well all around, so you can't really focus down one player.
Try to counter the pick comps, they should be good then. I like it.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to stand behind the fact that they haven't changed their roster, which means that they should do well, then TSM should have won seasons 1 and 2.
That is fair.
Yeah, but, you know, TSM was overly cocky in seasons 1 and 2.
True.
And then they finally got their shit together, and now they're actually playing really decently well.
Yeah, it
Anyone
could
for
go either
Kaboom?
way.
Spencer, I know
I'm
you're
all
on
for
Kaboom.
Kaboom,
Yeah.
right here. 100% Kaboom.
Oh
Kaboom
boy.
to take spot 1 in Group D. It's happening.
Ugh.
That would
Just
be really
be
big
prepared
upset.
for a mass amount of disappointment.
Be ready for a lot of Mordekaiser. Wait.
Oh, you gotta love the Brazilians. You know, they usually put together some really interesting teams, and they always manage to show up and have some fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Kaboom can do. I hope they do better than Dark Passage. I would like to see them win a game. Please,
think Group
just one
C.
game, Kaboom.
Well, they can't do worse than Dark Passage, right?
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
Fnatic, solid team going into Group D or Group C. We've got them with Samsung Blue, OMG, LMQ. Anybody's thoughts on Fnatic this year?
I'm putting my faith in that. Toys all the way.
I don't know how long ago it was once they got Toys as a coach, but seeing how they seeded second overall in the EU LCS to Alliance, that was pretty much a new team, like, just at the end of it, it kind of shows that a team that's been around for so long can lose to a team that, like, literally just joined. So I'm thinking that they really need to step up their game if they want to do well in this group stage here.
But can you really say that Alliance just joined? It's comprised of like the old EG team and a smattering of old LCS players. They've been around for a little while now.
No, but what I'm saying is the fact that they're I'm saying the team in general, the form of the players grouping together is new. Their synergy that they're making is still somewhat new. Like, sure, they could have played the Froggen and Wicked have been playing together for quite some time now, but everyone else, like, they're new. Like, they haven't really synergized well. Like, I'm just saying, the team themselves, Alliance, performed amazingly well coming out of the EU LCS, and I'm really looking forward to them seeing how well they do in Group D.
Okay. How we feeling about LMQ this year, guys? They're up against OMG and Samsung Blue in the same group as Fnatic. They did really well with NA. See what they can do?
I don't have high hopes for them in this. I mean, against the teams they're up against. I mean, Fnatic, Samsung Blue, OMG, LMQ might be in the shitter.
Yeah,
So-
these are well-established teams. I don't think they're gonna come out on top.
I think it all matters on how their minds go into the game and what they pick, because they're a pretty strong team from what I've done my research with. They're a ridiculously strong team, and from how they've been playing in the NALCS, like, they were in the top 2 seeds for quite some time. Like, it's unfortunate that they dropped down to, like, the 3rd place spot, but I mean, they're a strong team, and you should really look out for them. I don't think they're gonna drop as easy as like AHQ or Dark Passage. So
Gotta hate on the Dark Passage, eh? Just straight to
I'm
the Dark
sorry,
Passage.
but
Okay. And then we've got so we talked about Kaboom, Alliance, Najin White Shield. I'm pretty sure that's everybody's pick to take first spot in Group D. They're
Yeah,
the Asian
definitely.
team. They're the Korean team to take it right now. Anybody? Okay. Thoughts on two coming out of Group D? Who's second seed out of that?
Alliance. I have to get to Alliance. I really don't think Cloud9's gonna pull out of it. I think they can get a few wins. Like I don't want to discredit them. I think they are a good team, but as far as being better than Alliance and Najin White Shield, I really don't think that they will come out on top. I just think Alliance is gonna take it 4-2.
nope,
Okay.
nope, not at all.
Oh,
I think Cloud9's
Kevin's
gonna
putting his
take
faith in
first.
Cloud9.
I think Cloud9's
putting
gonna
his
take
faith
first
in
seed,
NA.
and Alliance is gonna take second. I think this one Korean team's gonna shit the bed here.
You have no faith in
Najin?
Najin.
You think
No
Najin
faith.
is gonna fail, eh?
No faith.
Let me just
Okay.
remind you that they all had to beat SKT to get here. I just want to
Okay.
remind you of that one fact.
Okay.
But we also have to remember that SKT did have a couple of roster changes over the past year, so
Speaking of roster
it's not
changes,
the exact same team.
yeah. Speaking of roster changes, actually, they lost their famous bot lane back from season 3, and I think maybe their jungler or something. They just dropped from the team pretty recently.
Where's your SKT now, Sean? Huh, Sean?
Yeah, where's your
Huh?
SKT now?
Where are you on that one?
You think Faker Senpai can carry?
I think the Korean teams that we need to look at right now are the ones in Worlds, huh?
Oh, fair enough. I'll play with that. Okay. I gotta give my picks for Group C. It's got to be Samsung Blue, LMQ. I got a lot of faith in OMG, but they're just not all there in my mind. I'd like to see them do really well, but I don't know. China 2.0. They're there. They're there. Let's just let them have some fun. OMG's always gonna be there. You can't deal with them. I'm really thinking it might be 3-3 tiebreaker or a 4-2 tiebreaker, but it's just not gonna be a straight up raffle stomp for Korea China this year.
Yeah.
Group D, like I said, kaboom! They're coming out first seed. It's happening.
Crowd upset.
Brazil's gonna make this a thing. It needs to be a serious thing.
Brazil gets out of group stage, Spencer. I will give you $20.
I will hold you to that. This is recorded.
That's fine with me.
Hey,
buddy.
I'll jump in on this. If they get out, I'll give you $100.
Oh, all right. Now I just need Alliance and Cloud9 to just, I don't know, come down with diphtheria or something. I'd love to see Kaboom do really well. Just I want a wild card team to do really well at a Worlds Championship for once. I thought Dark Passage had the chance because Dark Passage is from the Turkey scene. Turkey is run very much like the LCS, where they do have their summer, their fall, and their winter splits. I don't know. I thought they could do really well this year, but they're just not up to the task of dealing with these Korean teams yet. Maybe.
Be honest. The only reason you had faith is because Dark Passage sounds like a Dark Horse name.
You're damn right. But still, looking at their past conquests through their Turkish series, they have done really well for their region. So I thought that maybe they could do something, but Brazil doesn't have the same kind of scene. So I'm hoping that Kaboom has just been like, hey, we're gonna go over and scrim everything for the next 7 weeks and see what we can do. I'd love to see them have some fun. It would be nice to have a good team representing Worlds at a world, event. They're the wild card. They're there to, just not just show up and have fun. They're there to actually put up a fight. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Number 2 out of there, I gotta give it to Najin. Cloud9 Alliance. I don't know. I'd like to see them do well. I don't know. I really have no other mindset for Group D other than Najin probably raffle stomping and Cloud9 taking it. But I really want Kaboom to take number 1. It just has to happen. Please, God, let it happen. In other news, we had a huge announcement out of Riot that they're expanding the LCS for the NA and EU They're going to be opening it up to 13 teams for this new expansion tournament. They're going to be taken from promotion tournament, Challenger Series playoffs, and ranked 5 ladders. So, get a team together. You've got until November 2nd for the NA and November 9th for the EU to get your shit together and actually put a team. Hopefully you can get into the top rank 5s. That would be just hilarious. It's going to be taking place November 15th to December 21st. Shortly after December 21st, we will start the LCS again. I'm so stoked for next year's LCS. The teams that we have this year, plus this expansion, and I would want to see CLG not just get raffle stomped again. Down to relegation this year, that was a little depressing to watch. I've been a huge fan of CLG for years. Any thoughts on expansion tournament for you guys?
I think it's a really good opportunity to introduce a lot of teams into the competition, because I feel like there's a lot out there, a lot of talent out there that hasn't been seen yet, and it'll be a good opportunity for them to introduce themselves into the community.
I was just about to say, since after the whole LCS for NA, the AD carry for Curse, Cop, he left the team. He is no longer with Curse anymore, and I'm guessing they're soon, hopefully, going to be picking up a new AD carry. So, with this new tournament coming up, this is going to be looking pretty interesting for Curse coming in with this new AD carry.
Yeah, it would be a good scouting opportunity for them, eh?
Yes, really.
We do also have 6 teams pre-qualified for this tournament out of both regions. For NA, we have Team Coast, Complexity Gaming, Curse Academy, Denial Esports, Team LOL Pro, and XDG Gaming. They have all pre-qualified for the NA scene. For Europe, we have Gamers 2, H2K Gaming, Millennium, Ninjas in Pajamas, Reason Gaming, and SK Prime. It's a sister team to SK Gaming, so hopefully we can see some nice, fun stuff happen out of them. XDG, isn't that Zuna's old team?
Yeah.
Are we really gonna have the streamer back in the LCS?
Actually,
He scares me.
Actually, Zuna's not even on the team at the moment. No, it's comprised of iKennyU, Xmithy, Baby Zeus, Latiman, and 10Q.
Okay.
So Xmithy finally getting back into
Yeah.
the LCS back into the LCS after so long, because we haven't seen him in God knows how long. He was bouncing from jungle to AD to wherever the hell knows he was playing for XDG at the time.
Yeah, it's been interesting for those teams. Curse Academy, Complexity Gaming, all teams that we've seen on the relegation series. Team Coast, the Canadian team out of Vancouver, like to see them back again. They were my go-to team, just because gotta cheer for the Canadians at some point. You can't always just cheer for TSM and CLG because
TSM.
Yeah, I know, just because of that. Gamers 2, that's Ocelot's new team. So, we might get Mr. Emotional back in.
We'll get a little more crying on the LCS scene in this upcoming year. A little more tears and a lot more scars.
Anybody else have anything they want to bring up this week?
I'm just interested to seeing this group C and D go off and see who really does what they plan on doing. It's just gonna be interesting overall, in my opinion.
Sean, any thoughts about the upcoming week going into Group C, D?
I think this upcoming week will definitely show who's the stronger, OMG or Fnatic, because that's a matchup that I've been dying to see, and I really do want to know if Toys has been improving the team as a whole, and we'll definitely see how that comes up as of next week, because Toys did mention that he's a good player because he knows how to win, and I feel like that's a really bold statement, because that means that they'll do whatever method they want to do, and we've seen Fnatic pull off the triple TP method, So I really think that it's going to show Fnatic's true colors in this upcoming weekend. I'm really excited to see that. And as for Group D, I really just want to see how Alliance fares against Cloud9. I think that's my matchup for that group, and I want to see if Alliance can pull it out.
All right, I'm liking it. Riley, are we going to have a knockout between the two Korean teams coming out of C and D?
No, actually, I believe they're actually just gonna go straight through it and be all in the semi-pros, believe it or not. I think Najin's gonna destroy all of them and might actually just totally dominate this Group D here. As much as I know that you love Kaboom, but
Kaboom!
There's got to be one team not from Korea in the semifinals. It's
I
just
don't
simple math, right?
well, yeah.
Well, realistically, because the way the knockout stage is going to work, it's going to be first seeds are going to match off against each other going into quarters.
I thought that the first seed of Group A goes against the second seed of Group B, and then vice versa.
I might just be horribly retarded, but
Because
That's
it doesn't
your
make sense to put the first seeds against each other, right? Like,
Yeah,
it
I
would
mean,
totally
you put
make
the best.
sense.
You put the
Fuck
best
them.
against
Get rid
the
of the
best.
best. Get rid
oh
of
yeah,
all the
yeah,
Koreans
yeah.
right out
If
of
you
group
scroll
stage.
down a little bit in the bracket stage of the World Championships, it says A1 versus B2, C1 versus D2. See that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because I mean, if you put like the best teams against each other in the semifinals, then you don't really have that really good of a well, I guess you'd have a pretty good final still, but
Speaking of just talking about this SK team, it seems they have the map presence over in this game currently right now against TPA. They have a significant gold lead and they have map control all out the place.
Oh,
Are you saying that SK might win a game?
I'm
They
saying
might.
SK has a good chance of winning
I
this
think
game as
TPA is
long
pretty
as they don't
demoralized
throw
after
it.
that TSM game, right?
choke.
Well, it'd be nice to see SK do something really good this week. After having to deal with that 3-game ban, it's just you got to come back and you got to show up.
Yeah.
Show the reason you were picked for Worlds. You were the team to make it through.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad Riot doesn't give do-overs.
I was just about to also add on to the team at the TPA at the moment. Bebe is playing, from what it seems to be, the new upgraded blue Ezreal build. Seems like he's
Alright.
going for. Oh, and he's got the Muramana to be that on top of that too. Jesus.
Yeah, he's going full blue.
Blue build 2.0.
Possibly.
Only member on his team who hasn't died yet.
Well, that could turn out to be a good game.
Yep.
Unfortunately, with the recording schedule that we have set up, we're recording in the middle of the group stages. So these things just kind of happen. We'll chat over them next week again. We'll be chatting through the last game of every week until Worlds happens. There was one interesting thing I read last week. Acorn. He was talking about practicing and scrimming, and they were saying that TSM has been putting out the most fight in scrims, and Lustboy has been playing very well. From what I've seen, Lustboy's been carried all the way through. Sean, I know you're very vocal about this topic. You want to go on from that?
Yeah, I think Wild Turtle has just been playing awfully lately, but it's been hidden because of how well Lustboy's been playing and how well Lustboy has been carrying the team and setting up things for them. Definitely the MVP on TSM for me, along with Bjergsen. And I think if they want a shot at semis, if they want a shot at the title, Wild Turtle's gonna have to step up his game, and so does Amazing actually, because Amazing in that last game he's been making a bunch of mistakes that I don't think should have happened. So I think Amazing and Wild Turtle, if the team as a whole wants to get into semis, they need to step up their game.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to throw in last minute here before we finish off the recording? I'll take that deafening silence as a resounding no. It's been great having you guys on. Thank you all for coming. This has been the League of Drinks podcast for September 20th, 2014. Happy summoning.